Hey, this is Matthew Ricks, and today on the Music Business Newsletter, we got one from, he tells you he's lazy. He's an artist who's lazy. He says, hey, Matthew, I'm going to be honest right out of the gate because I don't see the point in pretending. I want a music career. I want recognition, respect, money, fans, all of it. But I really don't want to do that much to get there. You know, I had such a great day. Daughter hit the home run. Breath in my lungs. My team's like, yo, wait till you see this email. So you want everything. You just don't want to do anything for it. I mean, you got to appreciate the honesty. He says, and before you jump to conclusions, hear me out. You know, we don't really have to jump to conclusions when an artist says, I want to be rich and famous. I don't want to do anything for it. Which I like to tell people, if you want to be famous and you don't want to work for it, just commit a crime and go to jail. You'll be in the newspaper. Everybody will know your name. I'm being facetious. Don't commit a crime. Don't blame me for it. He says, I make music because I like making music. I don't like posting every day. I don't like networking, and I don't like building community. We still have more of the he doesn't like, but I just wanted to sit there for a second and let you know that there are artists in 2026 who don't want to post every day, who don't like networking, and they just want to make music and just have the checks come rolling in. But anyways, he says, I don't like building community. I don't like DMing people. Oh, I bet you like sliding into people's DMs. But that, that's different. He says, I don't like content. I don't like playing shows that don't pay well. And I definitely don't like being told I have to treat this like a business. So I know I paused a few times with all the I don't likes. So let's go back over that. He says, I like making music. I don't like posting every day. I don't like networking. I don't like building community. I don't like DMing people. I don't like content. I don't like playing shows that don't pay well. And I definitely don't like being told I have to treat this like a business. Okay, so if you don't treat it like a business, then what is it? It's a hobby. It's a hobby, right? Well, let's be honest here. Most hobbies don't bring you fame. Most hobbies don't bring you money. Okay? My son's got a 3D printer. It's a hobby. He's not going to get famous from that hobby. It's just the way it is. He goes, but somehow it feels like everyone else expects me to do all of that stuff just to get a shot. Yeah. Everybody else wants me to network, and everybody else wants me to post content, and everybody wants me to play shows that aren't paying thousands of dollars. What? He says, I've released a few songs. They're good. At least I think they are, and my friends think they are too. Your friend's opinion of your music doesn't matter. And I don't care who the artist is. It doesn't matter. He's said, which should count for something. It doesn't. It doesn't. He says, I don't see why I should have to constantly prove myself online. It's not okay. So the artists who prove themselves online or feel like they need to prove themselves online, usually all they're doing is responding to haters. Somebody says your song sucks, and then you post 35 replies about it in your stories or whatever. You post online to bring awareness of your music. You post online to promote. You post online so people get to know who you are. So you're not just some jerk who's putting music out there that they don't have any connection with. You promote so the people who do invest their time and money into your music know that you have new music coming out. The people who post to prove something usually flame out very quickly. He says, why should I have to constantly prove myself online just because an algorithm says so? What is up? Okay. We are going to create a counter. In the next video, we're going to have a digital counter for how many times an artist in 2026 blames the algorithm for whatever. He says, if the music is good, shouldn't it just travel on its own? No, because how people are going to, if you're not posting, and let's just say you created a few singles, you threw them out on Spotify, you did no heavy lifting at all. Like, you're like, I created the song, I'm done, I'm going to take a nap. How are people going to find out about it? There's over 100 million songs on Apple Music. How are they going to find yours? Your plan, because you don't want to do any of this because I don't like it, is you hope people bump into it. He says, I get annoyed when people say you have to want it bad enough. You do have to want it bad enough. You have to sacrifice for what you want in life. If you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes a sacrifice. I don't care what that's with. I don't care if that's your health, your relationship, your music, your 9 to 5. It doesn't matter. If you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes a sacrifice. It's just the way it is. He says, I do want it. I don't think you do. He says, I just don't want to rearrange my entire life, personality, or schedule around it. Dear God Almighty. Then why, then just, okay, here's the deal. There is nothing wrong if you just want to make music, throw it out there, and if 5 of your friends listen to it, you're happy and you move on with your life and you release another song. Nothing wrong with that at all. But you're telling me you want fame, you want money, you want all of this, but you're not going to work for it. You're not going to change your life in the slightest bit for all that stuff you want. Who does this make sense to? And the problem is, there's probably somebody in your life or multiple people in your life who go, yeah, good for you. This is ridiculous. He says, I don't want to wake up early to make content. I don't wake up early to make content. There's a whole like online thing of like, you got to get up early. You got to make your bed. You got to do all this stuff like before 6 a.m. Like that's crap. That's absolute crap. I got friends all the time. They're like, you want to go have breakfast? I'm like, yeah, I'd love to have breakfast with you. They're like, oh yeah, you want to go at 6:30? And I'm like, nope, I will see you at 9:30. He says, I don't want to wake up early to make content. Most creative people are night owls, but there's that. He says, I don't want to spend nights replying to comments. So what else are you doing at night? Oh, I got to watch that new show on Netflix and binge it. He says, I don't want to grind for years just to maybe get noticed. Well, then you're not then just quit. Like just quit now. He says, honestly, I feel like someone should just hear my music, recognize the potential, and help me take it from there. How are they going to hear your music? If you're not promoting to get your music in the ears of people so they can share it with their friends, so it can kind of spread, and you're not creating content that drives people to your music so they can put it in their ears and hear it, and then it can spread, how do you expect people to hear your music to help you? Seriously, we have to label this an email from the laziest artist ever or the most entitled. I'm not sure which one. Let's continue. He says, that's how it used to work, right? No, it didn't work like that. It never, ever worked like that. And here's why. Because back in the day, you still had to play shows. And they didn't have to be good paying shows. It could have just been a show. And I mean, we're talking like back in the day, like you want the 40s and 50s when they were playing bowling alleys and sock hops to get discovered. I'm sure those shows didn't pay well. They probably didn't pay at all. He says he goes, that's how it used to work, right? Someone gets discovered, things start moving, and then boring stuff gets handled by other people. Right, but at some point in the beginning stages, you are personally responsible for that boring stuff. That's just how it goes. I actually asked my team, are we being trolled here? And this artist did include links. This artist has 80 monthly listeners. And we found the Instagram, and it is as low effort can get. And if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting, which is nothing. You're getting no results at all. You have to work the hardest in the beginning to get a team to take up that pressure for you, to go and do the stuff that you don't want to do. I think every artist should strive for one day to be like, okay, that one thing I did every single day, I hated that. And I cannot wait to be successful so I don't have to do that. Will you do that? No. You just don't want to do it now. I'm just not going to do it now. Piss off. I'm not doing it. He says, this whole email is like, I don't want to. I don't want to. It's like talking to a child. He says, I also don't want to spend money or tour or move cities or change my sound or collaborate unless it's convenient. I mean, I think, here's what I think. I think you just had your heart broken and you're just letting it all out here on Uncle Matt. It's fine. I'm here for you. All right. I got big shoulders. I can hold you. I can hug you. You can cry. You can snot bubble it up. Because if this is truly who you are as an artist for 365 days, year after year after year, my guy, you're never getting the team that you want. You're never going to make money. You're never going to make a dime. All right. Your 80 monthly listeners is where you will peak in life. He says, but I still want the outcome. So I guess my question is there a realistic way to succeed in music without doing all the extra stuff everyone keeps pushing? Absolutely not. Unless you're like a hot woman and you have an OF page and you got, 3 million simps who pay you monthly and then you can get them to listen to your music. There is no way. And that's not a good strategy anyways, people. But there is no way that you just sit on your butt, do nothing, refuse to do anything, let everybody know the stuff you don't want to do, and then sit around and wait for the checks to come in. There's absolutely no way. And you don't want to spend money, and you don't want to tour, and you don't want to collaborate, and you don't want to network. You want to just sit in your home, make music, and cash checks. That's it. And you will make music when it's convenient because you're not going to reply to comments at night. You're not going to wake up early and do content. This is... He says, or is the industry just biased towards people who enjoy being busy and loud? No, the industry rewards people who make an effort. And if you make zero effort, none, you're going to get no results. Just so you know. Yikes. He says, I'm not trying to be negative. I don't think you're being negative. I think you're being an idiot. But he says, I just don't want to lie to myself about what I'm willing to do. Let me know what you think. I think I did a good enough job letting you know what I think. I think if you were sitting across from me at a coffee table, I would tell you straight up, I think you're one of the most entitled and lazy artists I've ever seen in my life. I think you're going to get absolutely nowhere. I think you should be happy and grateful for the 80 monthly listeners you have and realize that that number's probably going to dwindle in no time. You don't want to do anything. You've made that abundantly clear. Now, I will say this because I beat you up this entire email. I appreciate how honest you are. Because if I was still an A&R and you came to my office with this attitude, at least I won't find out 3 months down the road. Because a lot of times, like sometimes you work with artists or you have a business deal or whatever, and you're like, hey, I wish I would have known 3 months ago that you're crazy and I'm crazy. And our two types of crazy just don't collaborate well in this world. So we need to end this partnership, relationship, whatever. You make sure that doesn't happen. And I do appreciate that because you would walk in, you would tell me all these things you're not going to do. And basically you're not doing anything besides making music. That's it. You probably even have a problem that you got to pay to release your music. God forbid. So I do appreciate that because I think that you're going to save a lot of people a lot of time when you would do absolutely nothing. But other than that, if this is legit and you're 80 monthly listeners and your low effort Instagram is what you plan on doing for the rest of your life with music, my guy, this is your life in music. And enjoy those 80 monthly listeners because you ain't getting anything better than that. You cannot throw music out there and hope that people bump into it. Not when there's over 100 million songs on Apple, on Spotify that are competing for your attention. It's not going to happen. But thanks for the email. On a joyous day, you made me laugh. And if you have a question on the music industry that you'd like for me to answer, just go to MatthewRicks.com, click submit your question, give me as many details as possible. And hopefully you're not as delusional as this guy. I am Matthew Ricks, and until next time, I will talk to you later.